Welcome everybody to this video. Doug Barry here. Appreciate you joining me. And you know what? You read the title right there, urgent. We got to get some prayers out for President Trump. Now, no, nothing crazy is happening other than what we see happening in the world that's crazy. All those that are trying to throw wrenches in the gears, so to speak, all the judges that are trying to intervene and try to stop the movement forward of the things that President Trump and his cabinet are doing. Now, Father Chad Ripperger, for those of you who are familiar, know that he composed a consecration prayer to the Blessed Mother, consecrating the integrity of the election to the Blessed Mother, that she would help protect and watch over it. Then after President Trump was elected, he altered that prayer to make it more of a consecration to the transition of power, that it would be peaceful. And so that seemed to go well for the most part. He has now altered the consecration prayer again. Now, I know some of you are familiar with this already, but we've got to get after this because we need many, many, many more people involved with this. He altered this consecration prayer to consecrate all of those who govern our republic, and that is in the prayer, including especially President Trump and his administration, that they would be guided by the protection and intercession of the Blessed Mother, that all would bring glory to her Son, and so forth. And so this is something that he's really calling for us to get involved in. Now, this prayer can be found, we'll get it to you. We'll have it in the description below. But also, I'm going to be posting a video on my channel here in just a couple of days where I'm just going to be praying the prayer with some imagery and some nice music in the background. It's just about 2 minutes. It takes a little bit less than 2 minutes or so to pray this prayer. So you'll have access to it. But this is something that's very important for us. We got to deepen that spiritual life. Right? We've got to make sure that we're really stepping up when it comes to praying for our president and all of those that are governing us. We want to pray for all of our leaders everywhere. And we want to be good leaders ourselves. We want to be strong and faithful in the ways that God calls us to be in those positions that he calls us to, especially where we're leading in some way, shape, or form. You know, and just to help improve ourselves, we really want to do the best we can to grow spiritually, naturally, in the best ways possible. Along with that, we are offering a 7-day free trial for our BR Coalition Indomitable course before Lent. 7 days free. Go check it out. It's a fantastic way to do this, to grow spiritually and otherwise. Body, mind, and soul be better prepared to grow. Check it out. Click the link in the description. Free 7-day trial for this Indomitable course. It's a great community of Catholics that get together and really, really lift each other, support each other, and grow in all these different ways. So check that out with the link below. So again, this prayer, I want to point something out. We'd done an interview with Father Chad Ripperger on the U.S. Grace First podcast recently, and he talks quite a bit about the concern for retaliation. And I posed the question to him, if an individual person is going to convert, they're going to change their lives, they're going to break away from something diabolical, they're going to break out of some obstinate sin, some addiction that they're caught up in, what is the response of the diabolical going to be? Are they going to just let them walk away? Oh, you want out of this net or these chains that I have you in? Sure, go ahead, have a good life. Or is there going to be resistance and retaliation from the enemy? And he said, of course, resistance, retaliation. You're going to have that. We see that in Scripture too, you know, about the demons that are kicked out of somebody, so to speak, and then they return with 7 more. They're even stronger. You got to sweep the house clean. You got to protect it, though. You got to take those steps. Our country right now, here in the United States, and it's affecting many throughout the world, we are in a situation right now where the impact, if you haven't heard, by the way, let me just digress for a moment here and step into another subject. There was an individual who was released from prison in Russia today because of a conversation that they had with President Trump and his cabinet. That's another example of how President Trump and those that he has appointed are getting things done. But there are those out there who are very much in line with the culture of death that do not want to see these things change. And some of those are, unfortunately, even within our Catholic faith. It's tragic, but even some of the leaders of our church are struggling with understanding why we need to protect our country, why it's important for us to take the steps to do this. And there are things that are being said in the press and so forth that are throwing wrenches in those gears. So what we want to do is pray for everyone, but especially for protection and guidance of our president, the administration, and all those that are governing us in this nation and throughout the world. Pray for conversion for everyone. But when it comes to that retaliation, yeah, it's kind of like, let's say you're in a mafia. Let's say you were in the drug cartel. You're in some organized crime, and you say, hey, you know what? I want out of this gang. I want out of this mafia. How many of them are just going to say, oh, okay, what are you going to do? I thought I'd go start a restaurant, maybe I get a little business going on my own, a landscape company, or, oh yeah, well, good luck. I hope it works. Let us know if we can help you in some way. Yeah, that's not how it happens. No, instead, you're going to get retaliation, right? You're going to get people measuring you for cement galoshes. Yeah, that's an old one, I know, but you understand what I'm saying. We've got people out there that do not want to see this country or any country start to turn that corner and make things better, improve the economy, give people more freedom. In fact, it was reported today, I saw on the news that President Trump is stepping up greater protection of the Second Amendment, which we know under the last administration was being little by little chipped away and stripped away from people. There's a big concern about that too, the right to bear arms to protect ourselves, according to the Second Amendment. And then other areas where we are seeing so much waste being discovered that was being used, taxpaying dollars being used for insane, ridiculous programs and policies here in the United States and outside in other countries that had nothing to do with anything moral or decent, even in some cases. So those federal agencies are being investigated. They're being looked into. Some are being shut down. They're finding millions, billions of dollars. And President Trump says that everywhere he looks, he knows they're probably going to find this, saving taxpayers money. But more than just that, it's not just about the money, though that does provide, it allows people to have a better way of life. When we're paying too many taxes, okay, there's all these different things that are going on that are giving people a lot of hope. And that's really what a lot of this boils down to. When you see a leader out there who's taking steps to put into action certain things that are going to bring about a positive transformation in a country, much more of a culture of life, culture of family, culture of protection. The fact that we've got, ICE and other DEA, ATF all working together, Homeland Security, DHS, all these are working together to take a lot of these illegal immigrants, especially the criminals that are raping and murdering drug cartel members, I should say, rather, or Tren de Aragua, the gang from Venezuela, that it's involved in human trafficking, and they've arrested and they're deporting hundreds and hundreds of them. All of that is good. All of it is good because it's culture of life rising above culture of death. But again, there's diabolical and natural elements that are going to try to undermine this. This is what Father Ripperger is talking about. And he says, you are going to have this. And this was a statement that he made in the U.S. Grace Force podcast. He said, look, if we do not deepen our prayer, hold our ground, and not just keep our foot on the gas pedal, but press even harder. He said, if we don't do this, we will be taken to the woodshed. Those are his words. We will be taken to the woodshed. In other words, there will be retaliation, spiritual and natural, if we do not hold this line and do not step up our protection for ourselves, for our family, and for all of our government leaders, especially those that are working towards trying to secure the country and improve the country for as many people as possible. There's no way to separate religion from politics. You just can't do this. I've heard this from a Father Ripperger to Father Heilman says it many times, to Father Chris Alar, Father Donald Calloway, all these guests that we've had on the Grace Force and some here on BRC in some of our interviews with them. What they have all said is the same thing. We're talking about right and wrong, moral issues. Some say, well, these are political policies. It's all about politics. No, there are many of these issues that have to do with what's right and what's wrong in the eyes of God, and what's good or what's bad for the American people and people throughout the world. And this is making a big impact to people everywhere. Everywhere we're seeing this impact. We want to be better prepared. We want to be deeper in prayer. We want to be praying for our leaders. We want to be praying for each other, be praying for ourselves. This is something, BR Coalition, we try to encourage this all the time with our videos and our work. Again, don't forget, click that link in the description. Go check out the 7-day free trial. Now, look, I'm just throwing this out there because I believe it's a powerful way for all of us to take action, to be better prepared, to work with other people that are like-minded. Link in the description on that free 7-day trial for the Indomitable group that we have. It's a great community of people. You're going to get a lot of help and a lot of support. But when it comes to the times that we're living in the world that we're in right now. Now, that being said, we must all be thinking about the community. We must all be thinking about working together. This is what President Trump has been focusing on. This is what a lot of our leaders have been focusing on, that he has put into position, I should say, like a Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, Kristi Noem, DHS, and so forth, Tom Homan, Borders are and all. They're talking about working together as a nation to secure our country and to improve every single corner that we can in this nation. Now, I know right now those who are watching this video, in general, good, God-fearing, God-loving, faithful, believing Christians out there, mostly Catholic, I'm sure, but other denominations too, and that's awesome. So a lot of you are probably already praying your rosary, hopefully daily. This is a critical piece of protecting our country, protecting our president. This is something we must be involved in as consistently as we can. A deep prayer life, especially the rosary, because Our Lady, as you see over my left shoulder, has asked for this repeatedly. But going back again to what Father Ripperger made abundantly clear, in the conversion of an individual person, when they're moving away from evil forces, you're going to oftentimes have that retaliation. This is something he says you can expect in some way, shape, or form in America. He said, but don't expect it to happen right away. There is a lot of kind of reeling from the changes that have occurred in the election that's going on by those who oppose President Trump and the changes he wants to make in this country. A lot of them don't even know where to stand yet, what to say. So they're squawking and screaming and shouting about all sorts of things, even some that don't make a whole lot of sense. If you've been paying attention to some of the news, you know what I'm talking about. However, he said, give them time. They will bide their time just like demons do. Sometimes they'll wait. St. John Vianney tells a story of an animal, specific type of beast that will wait and lay waiting for some type of monkey in a tree and just lay there on the ground at the base of the tree while the monkey comes down. Very cautiously, the monkey comes near this beast. Can't quite tell if it's asleep or dead and gets near it. Beast doesn't move yet. Finally, the monkey gets on the back of the beast and still is checking it out. The beast isn't moving yet. The monkey thinks everything is good, thinks, you know what, I'm in good shape right now. I'm safe. Drops his guard, steps off the back and starts to turn his back to the beast and walk away. And that's when the beast strikes. We cannot lower our guard. We've got to keep that guard up in prayer. We've got to be expecting retaliation from the enemy. And we want to be prepared in our own personal lives with the people that we associate with, our community, our friends, our family, and we want to be deepening our prayer and our sacramental life and constantly grow in that personal relationship with God. And again, I'll say it one more time, that link in the description for the 7-day free trial for the Indomitable community, that's what we do there. Try to help you grow in any way possible with a great community of people who are like-minded when it comes to being strong, faithful warriors for God. So let's keep that prayer going strong. Look for that consecration prayer. You can find it. It's out there. We'll put it in the description below. I'll put it here on my YouTube channel, put it on the BRC channel. And please pray that prayer if you can every day. It takes, again, just about 2 minutes, a little bit less, depending on your speed of prayer. And I will have a video coming out in the next couple days or so of me just praying the prayer. That way, if you choose, you can just click on that and you'll have, a couple minutes of the prayer and the music in the background that might help. For some of us, it's just good to have a different approach to our prayer lives, and sometimes that's the sort of thing that can help. So I hope this has been an encouraging, positive video. Let's not rest when it comes to deepening our prayer life. Keep that foot on the gas, press down harder. Let's drive this culture of death as far back as possible by the grace of God and the light that comes from Christ himself and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. All right, I appreciate you being with me. God bless and strengthen you all. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care.